Miller, I see that you're on there, but I don't see any video or your audio's not hooked up yet.
I hit the unmute button.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. Can you go ahead and activate the video?
Oh, I don't know how.
Okay, we'll go ahead. This is the matter of James Chadwick Miller. This is cause number 34256. I see you now. There you are. I see you. Okay. Okay. And so in this matter, it looks like this is an incident from January 1st of 2022. And let's see, sentencing. There was a guilty plea on September the 6th of 2022. The court obtained 60 months of jurisdiction. The conditions included the no contact order, no law violations, and DVMRT. It looks like the DVMRT is completed. He went to unsupervised probation as of July. And around that time, Norma Miller filed a petition to ask the court to rescind the no contact order. And so, Ms. Miller, I did read what you wrote. Is there anything else that you'd like me to consider about why you want to remove the no contact order?
It's just being too long. We do have a family. There's a lot of missing spots now. We went through everything that he needed to commit himself to. And I think it's just time to remove it. This is affecting our family tremendously. And so I don't hear my husband. I don't feel unsafe. So it was just, the episodes that we have had in the past, which that's a past, I believe that he's not consuming any alcohol or anything like that. So I don't see why we should continue the no contact order.
Okay. And I know that I did look, so the judges are able to look at a screen called JABS. It's a judicial access browser. And so I was able to look at kind of a long history of cases where you filed for divorce and that didn't go through. You obtained orders against him over the years. There were other incidents in the past. And so this isn't something that just happened in 2022. This has been going on for several years. I do see that he did the domestic violence moral recognition therapy. What's your understanding about what's keeping him from drinking?
Like I said,
going to AAs, or did he do treatment, or what do you feel he's not drinking now?
I really don't think it's a behavioral issue. I don't think he's everybody can drink. I think it's just that the way that he chooses to do so a way to get away from, the stress that he's having at the moment, which is not, I see is if you could look at it, the records is not continuously. It's just here and there. And that's the times that I have no patience for that. So, but it's not something like he's an alcoholic that he's doing it every week or every day or anything like that. It's just been those episodes I have no tolerance for. And
was drinking usually involved when there was violence involved?
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right. And I was just wanted to see the docket, if that was a condition of this sentence. Was that also a condition of the sentence? Maybe the city can help me out here as far as any alcohol treatment or no love or no consuming alcohol.
I'm unaware off the top of my head, but I can look really quickly.
Nothing in the docket about that.
Nothing about that. Okay. Just wondering if that. Do you have the JNS? If you could just look at the JNS and see if there's anything regarding alcohol treatment or abstaining from alcohol.
Your Honor, I'm looking at the file now.
It doesn't appear like the city requested that in our initial filing.
And Your Honor, it just looks like no, Your Honor, there was nothing about an evaluation or alcohol drug treatment or anything like that.
Right. And so Mrs. Miller, I just want you to understand that, we just want you and your kids to be safe. And, it doesn't appear that this was an isolated incident. I know that he has done the DVMRT. I want to make sure that, that this doesn't happen again. However, he has accomplished that, and sentencing was almost a year ago. You have a plan in place if you were to reconcile and have contact. Do you have a plan in place if there was another violent incident? What would you do?
My parents are not too far away, and he already knows this because we've had this conversation many times. This is my last straw. So there's nothing in between. I don't have tolerance for it. I love my husband. I miss him very much. My kids, he's a terrific dad. It's just the way that he made those decisions happen. There's consequences for it. And now we're getting older. I'm assuming that he understands that what are the limits here in this relationship, because that's one thing that I want the court to understand. I don't feel unsafe around my husband. He's a terrific man and a terrific provider. And without him next to me, it is affecting us even more, because I just need him in our lives. And the kids, I mean, this is just gone too long.
Okay. I just want to make sure that, you need him in your life when he's not violent. And so Correct. It's great for him to be in your life when he's not violent. We just want to make sure that never happens again. And that's why the court had issued the terms that it did. Does the city take any position regarding the removal of the no contact order?
The city opposes removing the no contact order just based on the history. Mr. Miller is in compliance, but it's fairly recent compliance, I believe, within the last 2 months.
And then I'll hear from counsel.
Well, I don't think it's a fair characterization to call it recent compliance in the last 2 months. There's no indication here that he had failed to complete anything by time standards. It sounds like that's just how long it took based on what he was given to do. He did the DVMRT. They've been apart for 1.5 years. You've heard from the alleged victim about the strain and the undue burden it's placing on her trying to run her family. At this point, the amount of time that's gone by and the amount of treatment and programming that's gone by is a significant change in circumstances. I'd ask the court to defer to Norma Miller's understanding of the dynamics of a relationship. It's a little bit paternalistic to tell her that we know better than she does what's good for her family, and I'd ask the court to grant her motion to rescind the no contact order.
So I'm going to grant it at this time, but the court does have 5 years of jurisdiction over you, Mr. Miller. So your sentencing was on September in 2022. So the court's jurisdiction runs until September of 2027. And so the conditions of you not receiving any jail time on this or not going into custody for any violation are that, you have no new law violations. I'm going to remove the no contact order at this time. But I encourage Mrs. Miller, if there is ever any circumstance, do not hesitate to just call 911. That's what they're there for. And you've made it clear that this is a last chance, that there is going to be no going back and no acceptance of any sort of violence whatsoever, any sort of threats whatsoever. And so he is under the court's jurisdiction, and the court's going to be watching until 2027. And so I will remove the no contact order at this time. But if there are any violations of the terms of probation, that could lead to new charges, and it could lead to the court revoking the suspended time that the court imposed back when they sentenced you almost a year ago. Okay, so this has to be it. The history here is a troubled history, and the court, it looks like the court did not order any conditions regarding alcohol use. So I would just ask Mr. Miller to really look within himself, and if he feels that alcohol use contributed to this behavior in the past, then do something about it. That wasn't part of the original sentence in this case, but you've got to do everything you can to make sure that this never happens again. Okay. So I will recall the no contact order at this time.
I thank you very much, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, and you can go ahead and sign off with Zoom, and that'll conclude today's hearing.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
You too.